This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Okay, so we get a Pain Land as a rare. Don't generally want to be taking those. Overall, this is not a great pack. The best card, I think, is Yodian Dissident, or Yoshin, I don't know. I said Yoshin when I was a kid. Now I say Yodian. I don't know which one it is. But, so it's great, though. It's a great card. You know, it's fragile, but if it sticks around, it does insane stuff. There's lots of cards that make more than one artifact at a time that are just insane with it. And yeah, I mean, the rest of this pack, basically none of it is stuff I really want to take with the first pick. I think the Dissident and Prowler, Vanguard, Juggernaut. I mean, these cards are fine, but they're not really first pick level cards. Like the Dissident is, yeah. All right, let's pick two. Okay. So Audacity's pretty good. Clear Cutter's okay. We had one in the last pack. I didn't love the idea of taking it there. It's not a bad pick. I do sort of like these two green cards more, though. Argothian Sprite and Boulder Branch Golem. Decent white card here, too, in the Chaplain. And cards in the other colors in this pack aren't great. You know, this has been, like I've been saying, all the 1 and 2 drops in the format are a little bit better than you think they would be because of how the format has shook out. But this thing has been a pretty nice common. So is the Golem. It's not quite as nice in like a more aggressive green-white deck, but sometimes you end up in sort of a grindier version. I think I probably just take the Sprite. I mean, I know it's not an artifact for a Dissident, but I don't think we'll have massive problems picking those up. Okay. So we've got an Arbalest Engineers here, which is quite good. You know, we're not locked in on green-white necessarily. The Paratrooper is nice. Blanchwood Armor, you know, if you can go like close to mono green, it is a solid card. We've got Shoot Down and Perimeter Patrol. I think we just take another Signpost, though. I mean, they're strong. Most of them in the format are, and you know, it's worth taking a flyer on them frequently. Another Sprite. Still haven't quite shaken my cold entirely. Another Sprite is pretty good. Recluse is okay. I do like the Vanguard, but I think the Sprite's just better. If you're doing lots of silly combos, and you kind of want to be with the green-white Signpost, maybe the Vanguard's a little better, but I think Argothian Sprite is better in a vacuum. Okay, here's a second Dissident. I'd say that kind of locks us in on things. Now, once I have two Dissidents, I'm pretty interested in playing a Great Desert Prospector, which is a pretty bad card in basically every other deck. So we'll see if that wheels, because it makes multiple artifacts. Okay, so we've got a Scrapwork Mutt, which is plenty playable, even if you can't unearth it. We've got a Thopter Architect. So far, you know, we don't actually have any artifacts, so we do need to pick some up at some point, and maybe Scrapwork Mutt is the time to do it. I don't know. The Architect is a pretty good payoff, though. I think I take the Architect. I mean, I think I'll be able to pick up some random artifacts and cards that make Power Stones and stuff like that. Put the Engineers over there for now. Pretty good start overall. 2 Dissidents, 2 Sprites, and an Architect. No bomb in there, but, you know, 4 good 2 drops is a nice way to start this format. Okay. Well, this pack does not exactly contain anything great for us. Supply drop's okay. Like, if I really want an artifact, I can take it. Shoot down's probably just better, though. Yeah, well, in that video, you know, if you watch the video where I did say people are playing it too much, I said, you know, if you end up with enough Dissidents, it's playable. The Prospector, that is. Interesting. So, you know, if we manage to splash red, Juggernaut's not bad. I guess maybe I take a flyer on Blanchwood Armor. It does have a high ceiling. Yeah, I think I'm going to take it. All right, so we got our pick of pretty nice cards here, actually. Prowler's good, Clear Cutter's good. The Razor Maw is better than you think, but not really what we want. I think we probably take a Clear Cutter. We need to take some artifacts, obviously. And here's a Boulder Branch Golem. Would I rather have an Energy Refractor? I don't know. I could see us, playing this on 4 is fine, and playing it on 7 sometimes is fine too. I think we'll take the Boulder Branch. All right, so here I think we'll take a Power Stone Engineer. Does give us an artifact when it dies. It does look like, that's the problem. People take the Prospector when they shouldn't be. Nice. We get a Vanguard back, too. So I think green-white is very open, which is good. I think overall that pack went quite well. We didn't end up with... that's perfectly playable, too. We didn't end up with an insane bomb or anything, but, getting 2 signposts and some other payoffs is pretty good. Getting things back has been really nice. Wheeling a Vanguard was pretty good, too. Probably not going to end up in the armor area, but could happen. I think you need, you can go close to monocolored in this format. I haven't been that motivated to do it unless I have Corrupt, generally, but you can do it. Corrupt, I think, is the best of that cycle. Mono red, I guess, if you can really get a low curve and get some of those cliff stompers, that one's pretty good, too. Okay, well, there's one of those cliff stompers. Not for us, but hey. This is a strong pack, very different from our pack 1, pick 1. So Fauna Shaman's pretty nice. Definitely better if you're a graveyard deck. But being able to tutor up our Dissidents, for example, is cool. Obstinate Baloth is great. It's a card that it's pretty hard. You can pull ahead from behind with it if you're behind, and it's pretty good at stabilizing in general. I like Opportunist a lot, too. And obviously, pack also has Excavation, Explosion, and Disfigure. So, I think pack 1, pick 1, I'd take Baloth, and I think that's what I take here, too. Explosion's great, though. I think that's the second place card. Very stacked pack. We will take a Baloth. Okay, Haywire Might's okay. What else do we have here? Yeah, I think I'd rather have Haywire Might than Soul Guide Lantern. Recommission's not bad for our deck. Mill does not trigger the Baloth because you don't discard something if it gets milled. Yeah, I think we want Haywire Might. Nice little artifact. Little value artifact. Works for me. Alright, Foundry Inspector's very nice. Happily take that. Makes all our artifacts cost less. There's a Corrupt. Again, we're not really a Corrupt deck. Okay, so interesting here. We've got Elsewhere Flask, Argothian Sprite, and Thopter. I like all of them. I'm probably going to take an artifact due to our 2 Yodi and Dissidents over 3rd Sprite. And I think I'd rather have a creature. Dissidents don't do as much with a card like Elsewhere Flask. This one's definitely better, too, if you can sacrifice it for value, or you can actually take advantage of the fixing. It's nice, but I think I like Thopter a little more here. It gives us 2 triggers, so that's nice. Yeah, this pack is not good. This does give us 3 artifacts, but man, it's so slow. Yeah, I don't really want anything out of this pack. Can we have a redo? I guess I'm going to cut the green card. I mean, neither of these green cards are very playable. I'm not really going to be ramping into Su-Chi. Yeah, I'll take the Excavation. That pack was bad. This one's not great either, but it's passable. We'd have another Thopter Architect. I don't really need another one. So, Warlord's Elite does get interesting. This has been a card that's, I started the format pretty low on, but I've gradually come up on, and you kind of need a few trinkety artifacts around to make it worthwhile most of the time, but maybe it's worth it here. Could also just take another Sprite or another Golem. They are artifacts. Kind of leaning towards Golem. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Golem. So another Haywire Might. If we really want to ramp, we do have a Burnished Heart. And there's also another Cradle Clear Cutter. sort of leaning towards Might over Clear Cutter. There's just enough things that it can destroy. It's cheap and triggers multiple cards in our deck. And, you know, the life gain doesn't hurt either. Yeah, I think we'll take another one. It's definitely not an exciting card, but it does the job. I'm doing fine on 2-drops, so I don't really need to jam this into the deck. Yeah. It might be the pick anyway. I don't really want a second shutdown. Don't want a firebomb. Shoot down, that is. Or a Juggernaut. I guess I could take a Juggernaut here, because if I end up with the fixing to unearth it, it gets a lot more interesting. All right, I like Aeronaut's Wings a decent amount. I mean, it's having one of these in most aggressive decks in the format is usually where you want to be, especially because you get so much value out of artifacts anyway. Kind of hoping we pick up like a third Dissident somewhere, but our deck's looking pretty good overall. Could also use some crazy bomb. Instead, we just have a bunch of good cards, which, you know, that's obviously good, but not what I'm looking for. Necessarily. I mean, I want some bombs. Okay. So here's a little trinkety artifact. I think we do take it. It does hate on things. I do like Survivor okay, but it's definitely better, like, in the Soldier deck. It is a good place to put counters, I guess, with our Dissident, but I still think we want Soul Guide, Lantern more. Coughing. Life's hard. That Goblin Bomb. It's true. It's true. I could have. Bruh. Cut a green card just to do it. Okay. Well, we got an Elsewhere Flask back. I don't hate that. Like if I play now, if I play the if I see a Warlord's Elite, I'm a lot more interested in it. Yeah, Survivors are nice. That's a card that has definitely overperformed. There's just enough ways to augment them that you can go crazy, so. Come on, Dissident number 3. Can we get one in our final pack? Probably not. I would need a lot of fixing to want to splash this, but it could happen. I do have an Elsewhere Flask, but that's it right now. All right, we got an awful rare and over the top. We do have a Great Desert Prospector, which is intriguing. I think I'm a little short on enough ways to generate insane value with it here that I'm not going to take it. I would need, I think, a third Dissident to really want to take Great Desert Prospector. Especially because this pack has other cards in it that I think are going to fit better into our deck. Key to the City has kind of underwhelmed just because it's sort of clunky at what it does. But it's not terrible in our deck. I think I do have the Fly Creature as well. That's true. That's true. I have Thopter Architect and 2 Dissidents. Maybe that's reason enough for the Prospector. Vanguard, less exciting? Yeah, we'll do it. Why not? Silex, this isn't really a format where a sweeper that takes this long is going to be worth it. Discipline's an okay trick, but I think another Vanguard is where I want to go. All right, so we've got Epic Confrontation, and one thing our deck doesn't have a ton of is removal. The Frontliner's nice. Survivor's nice. Do think we kind of need to pick up some removal, though. And so I think I'm taking Epic Confrontation here. All right, well, Airlift Chaplain's fine. Okay, so Recruitment Officer is quite good. I think that's probably where we go. This is technically an artifact payoff, but it's not that great. I think just like 1 mana, 2/1 with a good ability is plenty good. So, probably another Sprite. Yeah. Yep, this does give you 2 artifacts, and you know, the one we really want that gives us 2 artifacts is the 4 mana 3/1, but we haven't seen it at all. That gives you a 3/1 and a 1/1 soldier. Sadly. And this does give you 2 artifacts, but it's so clunky that I'd rather just take another Sprite here. So we're not good at sacrificing the Wellspring. Otherwise, I would want it. I mean, it still helps with some stuff, but, you know, it doesn't help enough. Like, in the sack deck, it's great. In basically any other deck, not so much. Still need a bit of removal. I think I'm going to take a Disenchant here. Another Aeronaut's Wings. We've already got one. Liquid Metal Coating doesn't really do anything. We'll take a Recluse. Rare for gems, because I'm not going to play Gnarl Root Pallbearer, so... Alright, Energy Refractor. It's not impossible that it makes our deck. Probably not going to, though. So, deck's pretty good. I would have liked maybe a couple, you know, like I said, the 4 mana 3/1 that gives you a 1/1 soldier and has Unearth. That thing is like nuts when you have the right payoffs. But, you know, what are you going to do? Looks like we pretty much... I'll take an Engineer, I think, over an Honor Guard. Didn't really think I was going to get another card I might consider playing, but I did. We may end up cutting a lot of these do-nothing artifacts because, you know, we're not really doing anything with them other than cantripping, which, you know, if we have a Dissident and stuff in play is pretty nice. So, yeah. All right. So, yeah, we have some sort of do-nothing type artifacts. These don't really cost this much. No, they don't cost that much. Oh, yeah, they do. So, in terms of do-nothing artifacts, you've got a Refractor, a Flask, and Soul Guide Lantern. And they do stuff, right? Like, you know, exiling stuff matters. This does more than the other two. These two probably won't do much. We're not splashing anything. We don't have enough fixing to use the splash, so... I think maybe the Lantern stays in and we cut the other two. I mean, we have 11 artifacts, and that doesn't count cards that aren't artifacts, that make artifacts, of which we have a few. So I think we can probably get away with cutting both of those and holding on to cards that do stuff as much as we can. We're going to leave the Lantern in. I think it does enough. Do I want Shoot Down? Am I desperate enough for removal? I might be. So we've got the Confrontation, Disenchant, and Shoot Down, and that's pretty much it. That part's not so good about our deck. Not so good. I really don't like Shoot Down very much, frankly, but might have to play it here. Oop, what did I just cut? Definitely something I don't want to cut. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of creatures, which is good. Creatures that are artifacts are especially good. We can definitely trim a few. Like, we're not really a deck that's that into Prowler. We're not doing anything with our graveyard, so... You know, I'd rather hold on to the cards that... Once I when putting counters on is really good, or they help me make counters in the first place. And that's not really... That's not really there. I don't really want to cut any more artifacts, if I can help it. I could consider the Chaplain, but it does hit a whole lot of cards in our deck, including Dissidents. So I don't think we want to do that. Yeah, we can't really cut any more artifacts and feel good about it, though. So we're in an awkward spot here. I don't really think the sprites get that much worse in large numbers. I mean, maybe a little worse, because you're not going to be able to use their abilities that much. But they're hard to block in this format, like, period. Regardless of their activated ability. So, yeah, I mean, maybe we cut the Chaplain. Maybe we cut Shoot Down. I mean, we've got some removal. Definitely. This can remove some stuff, but nothing that exciting. Yeah, I think I'm going to lose Shoot Down. Let's lose a Sprite. Then we need to make one more cut. You know, Tricks would have been good in this deck, too. Where was the, you know, Gaia's trick that puts a counter and gives you a bunch of keywords? I could have used that. The Engineer is honestly not great, but it does die and give us a trigger. But the trigger it gives us only really matters for the Dissident. So maybe I'd rather just cut both Engineers. Nah, we'll cut one and then also cut a Sprite. Yeah, I think this will work. More removal would have been nice. We don't really have a bomb. And we are missing some of the best cards for the deck. Enablers for the deck. We have all the good payoffs, really, but not the best enablers. But I think it should do fine. I think we leave Prospector in with the number of artifact payoffs we have in the end. I think you have to have 3 total of the 2 of the Dissidents and the Flyer thing. The thing that gives flying to your creatures for an artifact. You picked up a bomb. Yeah, that's the second time someone made that joke. As long as you have 3 or more of those, I think playing the Prospector makes sense. The problem is people jam the Prospector into all kinds of decks. And if you're not getting extra value out of that trigger, other than just getting Power Stones, it's not really worth it. But as long as you're getting one of those triggers, it's definitely worth it. Last time I played one, I had 3 Dissidents. So, we're not quite there. Okay. Well, that's a pretty good opening hand. The thing to remember is how fragile the Dissidents are, but I think we can probably run one out there up front and see what happens. Especially if they're playing, like... Okay, so they could have, like, Epic Confrontation, which would be annoying. But I think we run out of Dissident now. Obviously, we're taking this. Okay. Well. Interesting. Do I want to run out my other Dissident? Am I that greedy? I think I am. And then next turn we can go Aeronaut's Wings, Power Stone Engineer, and go crazy. They may eventually be able to blow up my Dissidents, I guess, with Blast Zone, which is kind of gross, but they would also lose their Wings and their Mutt. Man, they could actually blow up everything we have in our hand eventually. Let's hope they don't. That would be kind of bad. So if they don't do anything else here, I think their plan here is to blow up my Dissidents and their Mutt and their Wings. And if that's what happens, because this Blast Zone... Okay, they did do something else. I think that means I run things out here a little more bravely. So let's play the Engineer first. Let's play Aeronaut's Wings. God. This Blast Zone might really destroy us this game. It's kind of funny. I really need to draw something that costs more. Where do I put the first counter? This can already trade for both of those, and I'm probably going to trade it anyway because I get a Power Stone when it dies. So... let's put them on the... yeah, let's put them on the Dissidents. Then I don't think we're attacking. Right now they can blow up every permanent we have in play. And sure, they would lose their Aeronaut's Wings and their Scrapwork Mutt. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to... Or not. Yeah, they made it so I couldn't trade, which makes sense. Okay, we did draw something bigger, but of course we can't cast it. You know, why would we be able to? Okay. So, I think I'm going to Epic Confrontation the Opportunist here with my Engineer, and we'll see what happens there. Very good chance that their plan here is... put 2 counters on Blast Zone and blow everything up. But we can get in for a pretty big hit ahead of that, at least. And then we're sort of relying on Baloth the rest of the way. So drop them to 15. They do have to spend their whole turn doing it, but the bad news is our Baloth isn't something we can cast right now. So now they just lose their wings, and I lose everything. All 3 of these. This is the most effective I've seen Blast Zone be ever in this, maybe in any format. Yep. We got Blast Zoned, and now we can't play anything. We had such a good start, but, you know, they had a great sweeper. So what are you going to do? Alright, we can play this. I guess Blast Zone is just really good against our deck, because we have about 1,000 2-drops. So. Nice. Life's getting low. Would be nice to draw a forest. There we go. Yeah, we're going to have to draw well to have a shot in this one now. Once they played Blast Zone, I probably should have been a lot more conservative. Like, I probably should have just played out 1 Dissident. Did I already have both in play? That was definitely the better route to take, because... Yeah, I mean, if I were able to leverage those Dissidents into doing more damage... it would have made sense, but I think they played Blast Zone like as their second land, so I think I really played that poorly. I definitely should have. Don't recommend playing Sigil of Valor. May end up beating us here, but basically anything would beat us after a Blast Zone. So nice. That's actually a pretty good draw. Let's just draw all of our big life gain things in a row. Do they have more removal for us? I think they do. Wow. Yeah, I only drew 2-drops, which was the real problem. Like, in a world where I drew other things that weren't 2-drops, like, playing those out and getting the counters would have made a lot more sense, but... I was going to say, it's about time for us to draw a land. Unfortunately, we're not the sacrifice deck where you can make Prison Sentence look a little silly. Okay, well, I can blow up the Sigil with this and gain more life, so that's kind of funny. Here comes Scrapwork Mud, I think. Oh yeah, I can get rid of the prison. Good call, good call. I sort of overlooked that. Let's see if they overlook that. Okay, so let's do this. Guess we're going to try to kill the big thing. I think they did overlook it. Lucky for us. Now we can kind of race. Nice. Haywire mites for the win. Hopefully. You know, we're not there yet, obviously. Yeah, I can truthfully say I'm not 100% sure I would have thought about using the mite to destroy the aura. So, thanks for pointing that out, chat. Our opponent didn't realize either, which makes me feel less bad, because they wouldn't have attacked the way they did if they had. So we both overlooked it. I drew pretty darn well there late, frankly. Like, drawing our being able to draw the forest player Baloth, then playing the big golem, and then drawing Haywire Might was a nice thing. Now we have all expensive cards in our deck of a million 2-drops. Ooh, that's not good. That thing is nasty. So hard to block, ramps them. Probably they play, oh god. Well, our lack of removal may end up coming up here pretty quickly. Alright, so yeah, we want to play the clear cutter. Although, well, no, I can't block anyway, so may as well play the clear cutter. They can attack with both and draw 2 more cards here. I did get to draft Gix yesterday, and it was pretty awesome. That draft video is going up tomorrow if you didn't see the stream, or on Tuesday if you didn't see the stream. But now Gix is betraying me. I probably play a Boulder Branch Golem, both because it can be a roadblock of sorts. Oh, God. Yeah, we're about to get beat down by the, you know, sweet sacrifice deck here. All they have to do is, like, sack this Power Stone, and we're basically dead. Not entirely, but basically. They draw, like, a bunch of cards. They do a bunch of damage. So, yeah. They had a great start. Similar to the start we had in our last game, only they didn't get board swept. Board swept. Yeah, just sack the Power Stone and swing out. I know you want to. If you have like a 2-drop to play ahead of it, it's even sillier. This was not the game to have no 2-drops with. Oh yeah, so now sack Power Stone and swing out. Oh boy. It hurts. Hurts so much. So I can kill Gix, maybe. But I take 8 and Lose Boulder Branch, probably. I do get to kill Gix, so that does actually happen. Can I top deck like an epic confrontation here? No. If I had, might have had something here, because I could have played like Inspector and killed Junkyard Genius. But the way it panned out, it doesn't really work. Let's see, I have 6 mana. That means I can play... No, I don't. I have 5 mana. Kind of have to play another Boulder Branch if I don't want to die. But... Well, actually, I think I play Foundry Inspector and Argothian Sprite. Then next turn I can play a full-sized Golem if the Inspector doesn't die. So... Yeah, I could have done it with the Cutter, but I needed enough bodies to, like, block a little bit, unfortunately. We did kill the biggest threat. I mean, there's a good chance they just play the welding whatever here, but no. They're going to kill... Yeah, and then, well, you can't give Menace to your whole board anymore. Does that matter? Not really. I'm still dead. Yeah, that's what happens. That is what happens there. Against that deck. We needed to have 2 drops, and we needed to draw the meager removal that we do have to have a chance. Thank you for the follow, Amor Faman. Yep, we're 1-1. 1-1. Oof. Obviously, switch this out for a forest, and his hand's, like, way better. We have to mulligan, though. We need 2 green for this. We need green for that. We need green for this. We need green for that. The only thing we can play is Haywire Might. So... Okay, sweet. Let's do it the other way. All right, I mean... I can accept this. I think we put the Chaplain back. We want to hold on to the removal, the creatures, and... Yeah. These 2 creatures are... I mean, I think the Chaplain's a better creature than Argothian Sprite, I guess, but we're not able to cast it right now anyway, so... Thank you for the sub, Delta. Maybe about to get run over again, especially if we can't find a 3rd land. Oh, God. Well, good news is I can at least kill something here, and we will. So we got that going for us. But we do need a 3rd land. I would take any 3rd land at this point. Plains would be awesome, but I don't know that we really have time to set up our dissidents. I guess I didn't correct my draft record. I must have 1 loss too many, because obviously you can't go 7-3. Aha! Okay. Well, we're going to attack. See what happens when we do. It's a very good chance they counter whatever I try to play here. Trying to decide if I just want to run out the Inspector. It's also very easy to kill our Dissident here for them. Obviously, them countering the Thopter is the least meaningful of them all, because we can unearth it. Yeah, The only thing is the Inspector, if it does resolve, sets up some pretty awesome mana stuff. All right, I think we play the Inspector. Good chance it gets countered or dies, but if it doesn't... Okay, well, they only bounced it. I can live with that. I can live with a bounce. Uh-oh. I do have Disenchant, luckily. They're going to get 1 Power Stone out of it before I can disenchant it, though. I guess now I use Haywire Might, because Disenchant can target a wider variety of things. Yeah, okay. Get out of here. Well, I think we're going to have to start trying to do some dissident things now. Yeah. Thank you for the follow, Mocha Mike. Okay. Options, options, options. So I could play the Thopter and put a counter on it so that we can start racing them in the air. I could play the Inspector and then next turn play discounted things, which would let me double spell. I'm 1 land away from being able to go Inspector Thopter, which is nice. The Golem definitely helps here in terms of stabilizing the board and gaining us life. I think... Let's go Golem in the end. And I think I'm going to put the counter... Let's put it on the Sprite. Doesn't let it attack this turn, but it does enable things further down the line. I haven't really seen someone take advantage of this yet. It's going to be interesting to see our opponent try to do that. If I draw a land here, I get to go Inspector Thopter, which is pretty gross with the Dissident in play. Alright. So... I think we probably just take this. We're at 19 after all, but I was trying to decide if it was worth getting them to, like, burn something from their hand. Okay. Well, this works too, I think. So... I think Inspector Soul Guide Lantern is pretty good here. The Lantern, unfortunately, like, they're just going to put that on the bottom in response. But it gives us a counter, and we can cash it in for a card later, so that's okay, I think. So... let's put it on Boulder Branch here. And let's play... we can actually cash it in for a card now. And then we'll play Soul Guide Lantern for free. Target the Wing Commando. I think put another counter on Boulder Branch. No, they let us exile it. Oh, it can only hit artifacts, instants, or sorceries. That's how infrequently I see that card. Then we swing with Boulder Branch. I would much rather kill Third Path Savant if I'm given the option. Surely they're doing something here to kill the Golem. Okay. Do you have another one? Doesn't really make a difference. I still kill... oh, I guess it does. My creature wasn't going to die, so it makes a difference. But I still kill what I really wanted to kill. We do have Haywire Might in our deck still, so another 0 mana artifact, so I could crack this now to draw a card. But I guess I'll pass. It's after combat anyway, so the counter doesn't make a huge difference. Well, there's our disenchant target. They do unfortunately get to scry 1,000,000 first. There's Baloth. That's nice. Okay, so let's disenchant Spotter Thopter. Then we'll play Reconstructed Thopter. I think we want to start attacking them in the air here now. What do they copy? They don't have anything, like, amazing to copy. Okay. Don't know if that's where I would have gone. There must be some combo I'm missing that you can do with these keepers. Alright, then we'll play Baloth and Sprite. We'll just empty our hand here. We're one land away from being able to threaten these abilities. Does look like maybe they can kill our Thopter here. But it can come back and give us a counter, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Well, that didn't even kill my Thopter, so no, it's really not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, that's the kind of mistake where you just gotta scoop afterwards. We've been there. We've all been there. Well, we got to go off with Yodian Dissident in that one, and we won. No big surprise there. Oh, I forgot to move my camera forever ago. Well, I do think this is keepable thanks to the Lantern, because it lets us dig one deeper. But it could go horribly wrong. But I think it's fine. Hey, we have one of those. We would definitely trade Engineer for Officer. We could have a trick, but we do get a Power Stone at least. Okay, so we definitely crack this, because, you know, it is nice that we hit some land, but we really need to hit a forest. Wow, well, we will be able to play Thopter Architect next turn at least, I guess. There was a worse potential outcome. Every plains ever. Bring it. We'll be able to cast our Boulder Branch Golem before we can cast anything else at this rate. That is frustrating when this happens, but it is part of Magic. And you know, a lot of people are like, having a resource like that is awful, and it's like, I think it balances a lot of things in the game. It would be a worse game if we didn't have mana, even with the frustrating things. So, I guess we're at the point where trading the engineer is appealing, because I can play Clear Cutter. I don't know that they can't really attack us is the problem. Okay. I can attack them, though. Which is interesting. And maybe that's just what I want to do. Because if I get Clear Cutter down, I can start slamming golems, giving things flying. There's a good chance they just don't block it, right? So, that's not really worth it. We're both stuck on only white mana. They got their second color now, unfortunately. And they have a platoon dispenser. My god. Yeah, we're losing this one. Alright, so we're gonna block Recruitment Officer. They most likely have a trick. I'm just gonna take the rest. Yeah. So we can play a Clear Cutter. It doesn't make much of a difference, but, you know. If we could just slam these Boulder Branch Golems, we would have been in business, you know? Instead, we never drew a forest. You know, I guess I should have given flying to this. I could have gotten in for 3 free damage. I mean, we're dead anyway, so it's probably not going to matter. But that was 3 free damage I left on the table. Vigilance. Okay. Very likely they have a trick again. 3, 5, yeah. So we're going to go to 1. I mean, they don't need much to kill us here. Hopefully they whiff on that. If they whiff on that, they don't. If they had whiffed on that, we have like a tiny chance of fighting our way back into this with Boulder Branch Golems because of all the life they can gain us, but they didn't whiff, so it's a sad day. We do get to cast one. It's not going to be enough, though. I could also cast Aeronaut's Wings or Argothian Sprite, but it's not really going to make a difference. We drew 6 plains before drawing 1 forest. Yeah, let's just throw in a Sky Strike Officer while we're at it. Really? It's like they're just, like, toying with us now. Because they can? Like, why attack like that? Well, we're going to get to cast another Boulder Branch Golem. They can draw, like, 1,000 cards at the end of their turn. I wonder... nah. We just cast another big Boulder Branch. Pretty funny. Yeah, they're just toying with us now. They're lucky I don't have that Karn Silex I could have picked up. Of course, if I did, they'd have a whole turn to kill us. They have 11 cards left. Maybe they get a little greedy here. Yeah, maybe the hubris gets them. I don't imagine it will, but... Okay. Buff them all. Buff them all again. Yeah, that's enough to kill me, isn't it? Not quite. If only I had another Boulder Branch Golem, you know? So I could play the Bailoff, but I have to tap the Clear Cutter to do it. So what's the point? That's true for everything in our hand. I mean, I guess we're going to do it. Just gain some more life here. Man, I could have swung for a ton of damage here. Like, if our opponent really let their guard down. And I could actually have drawn, on any of these turns, the Prospector and won the game. It's not going to end up happening, but the fact that our opponent has been as casual about stuff could have ended in their death if we drew the right card. Because Prospector would have given our whole board flying, and we would have just swung for lethal. Wild. Yeah, now they've had enough. Now that they saw that I could have swung for 13 damage that turn, they're like, okay, let's kill him. Too bad we didn't get a hubris win. Hello, Braille Plays. God, it would have been funny if we drew a Prospector. Made a bunch of Power Stones. Swung with a bunch of beefy creatures. I do make YouTube content. That's my main thing, actually. This is sort of a secondary thing. This is YouTube content, actually, too. Hello, YouTube. But it's also a stream, so. All right, much better hand. We have both colors of mana. We can play stuff. Got a couple 2-drops, removal, etc. Well, they didn't play anything. I like that. When I'm playing against red-white and they don't have anything on turn 2. So I think in terms of draft, if you're trying to expand your collection, I actually think it's the best way to do it on Arena. But yeah, you do need to get a little bit of experience, I guess. But you get to play the game while expanding your collection vastly because you do the draft, you know. So, I don't really want to try Epic Confrontation when they have a bunch of mana up. It's just not a good plan. Well, I'll do it now. Argothian Sprite is unblockable. Yeah. So, I think we go ahead and kill the Paratrooper here. Attack for 5. Play another unblockable Sprite. Keep playing artifact creatures. Or removal, I guess. That's okay too. Ooh. These Haywire Mites are some business, huh? Yeah. Okay, so let's attack them for 4. I think we play... Yeah, let's attack them for 4. Now, don't take my word on, like, expanding your collection and stuff. I might not be correct because I just play limited to play limited, and I don't really try to expand my collection. So let's play this Lantern. This Architect is going to do some stuff at some point, but... Then let's play Haywire Mite, and maybe, like last time, we can trick them. Without them realizing I can destroy Static Net. Looks like we might get to kill the token for free. Let's find out. Yep. We're going to draw a card. Definitely think we swing out here. I think we want to play the Architect so we can start going over everything. Well, now it's harder to go over things quite as effectively. Alright, so we are 1 mana away from being able to play this as a bigger creature, but given what's going on, I think it's probably just better to play it now. I'm going to give flying to Argothian Sprite. That means the Rock Hunter is the only thing that can block it. Attack with both of these. And if the Rock Hunter's dead, then they don't have anything to block the Thopter with. And then we play Power Stone Engineer. Okay. They aren't quite dead. Still not quite dead, actually. We don't have enough power, but... basically dead, yeah. Basically. Haywire Might. That is a card that I think is underplayed. Like, when you look at the data on 17 lands, it has a win rate comparable to Epic Confrontation. I know this because I'm compiling a list for next weekend's Needs and Notes for undervalued cards, basically. There's just a lot of things you can kill with that thing. And I, you know, this is the first time I've really played with it significantly. And it's living up to the underappreciated card ranking, I think. Of course, it helps that our opponent has multiple times overlooked the fact I could use it. So it wouldn't be nearly as good if I wasn't able to get a free block on something both times. So we're at least going to go 3-3 with this deck, which I think is fair. I mean, the deck has a pretty high ceiling, but the small amount of removal is a problem. All right, I do think this is a keep. We're a ways away from caring about casting this anyway, and we can draw some cards and stuff in the meantime. May just play the wings and slap it on an Argothian Sprite this next turn, depending on our opponent's... Don't love that. So our opponent can go very aggressive now. Yeah, especially with Chromatic Star lying around. They can't really attack us this turn. Oh, it's... yeah. God, are we going to miss completely on our second color of mana again? Looks like a possibility. This isn't a race we're going to win, most likely. Oh, I can't equip it anyway. I can't attack for free, basically, though. I guess I should have cracked my Lantern rather than play this. Because then... if I drew a Plains, I could have played one of these. But anyway, we are going to attack. And accept the fact that we're probably taking, like, 3 damage. We'll leave mana up to bluff, but we're just going to crack our Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah, apparently the fairies of Dominaria don't all have wings. If they only hit us for 2 here, I feel like that's a small victory. I don't know how that's possible, though. Okay. They must want to play something rather than crack their star, or... Like, if they play the Pendragon Strongbow here, we're in some trouble. Oh, there it is. We're in some trouble, is what I was going to say. That's where things get really scary. Okay. We are within striking distance of getting to do some Great Desert Prospector, Yodian Dissident nonsense. So that part's fun. What do I want to do here? I can only play one of these because I only have one white mana. Could play the Clear Cutter, which is kind of a better blocker, but it's still not going to be a very good blocker on this board. Blocking in general will not be easy. And I can at least equip the Sprite if I play... Yeah. So right now, the Prospector's ability, like, next turn it'll give us 2 counters, which isn't, like, amazing, but it's not terrible. Let's go ahead and play the Dissident. And equip our Gothian Sprite. And just accept we're going to take a bunch of damage here. And swing for 3. It's just so hard when this deck gets rolling how it can. To block anyway, you know? So I may as well try to spike a win here off of some nonsense. It's kind of how I feel. This is where not having removal really hurts, too. Like, the number of ways we have to destroy the Strongbow. I think we have, what, 1 card that does it? Alright, we are taking less damage than I'm expecting we're going to take, which helps make me feel a little better. Okay. Do I get really greedy? If I got really greedy here, I could play the Architect, but... I think playing the Clear Cutter is pretty good. We get a counter. We get a 1-3. Making it a 2-4 is actually pretty useful. I'm actually going to do it. Makes it tap for more mana if it survives, and it blocks better. I was thinking about putting it on the Sprite, but... So, next turn, we could play Great Desert Prospector. Uh-oh. So... How much damage are you going to do to me here? That is the question. Yeah, they're mono red. I was wondering... Oh boy, if we can get them to stop attacking us, and then we did, that's like the dream right there. Living the dream. All right. I think we play Boulder Branch. I could play the Prospector here and get 3 counters. I could also play the Architect, but Boulder Branch gaining us life makes their life a lot more challenging. Yeah. So... Could target it to gain 4. Could target this so it can tap for 3. Could just put it on the Sprite to do more damage. Does put them on a 3-turn clock, and I'm not super shy about trading here. They can do a lot of damage, but if we draw a 5th land this turn, we can swing for lethal next turn. Put 4 counters on our Gothian Sprite. Swing for 8. Does look possible. Doesn't quite feel like they're going to be able to do lethal. Okay, maybe they can. 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12... And then they could sack 2 things and we're in trouble. But I don't have to block, I think... No, we're going to have to block more than I'm thinking because of Menace. So we're not going to be able to do... Well, we could do lethal next turn if we can keep enough damage on the board. Huh. Alright, so... Prowess is also an issue. I don't even need to draw a 5th land next turn to do lethal. But now I'm not going to have enough creatures to do lethal. Oh yeah, I can definitely block it now, but it is going to get 3 power is what I mean. I can definitely block it now, and I think I will. I guess I'm going to block like this, but we're probably still dead. Let's find out. Am I dead? Let's find out. No. That means we win. I thought we were dead for sure. Nice. We managed to survive the onslaught, just barely. The golem was crucial there. It's the only reason we were able to stay alive. Gained us 3 life and traded for something. Good thing we blocked the goblin. Like, I think we had to block exactly how we did to still be able to not die and still be able to win the game. They may have chosen the wrong line, though. Maybe not. I'm trying to think if there was a way to just kill us with the activation on Pendragon Strongbow, but I blocked it, so... And they only had 2 mana, so they had to choose between the trick or using that ability. And using the trick at least allowed them to trample. But using the ability would have also made their creature, their goblin, into a 3/2, but then it was too late, so there you go. All right, this is an okay hand. I need to draw some more things, but it's passable. Another one of these, huh? I don't know if I have it in me to beat them twice. Boulder Branch Golem will try to help, though. Is our dissident dead? Might be. Nice. 2 mana, Mishra's Command. Rummage and kill a thing. That's pretty good. That's pretty... I mean, if we can keep it in play and next turn play a Boulder Branch Golem, make the Golem into a 4/4, it's going to feel pretty good. I guess they were digging for a land, interestingly. And I guess they got it, because they threw away a real card. I mean, They know it's going to have targets against us, too, because we had a Yodian Dissident in play, so... Looks like we're going to get one counter out of it, at least. And this is just a great play against the aggressive decks. Put a counter on it, and we gain 4 now, too. How do you like that? Wonder if they have another raise to the ground. It is possible. We just take 3. Oh, man. Luckily, I have Disenchant for it again. Haywire Might would be nicer for the same reason it was earlier. Like, I got to... this can hit more things, but we can't let them draw cards. I may as well not show them yet that I can blow it up, though. I mean... I guess they're tapped out, so it doesn't really matter, but... maybe it'll make a difference. This is a good Great Desert Prospector board. Looks like another mono red deck, even. 2 really good red rares. Luckily, we dealt with visions right away. We're going to take 3 again. So, you always specialize when you get a PhD in anything, but it is just called a PhD in history. But medieval Europe is my area of specialty. Wow. Well, this is a little less good now that they have Steel Exemplar, but it's still a pretty great play here, because it's going to buff Vanguard a bunch, and then we can spread some counters around too. So, yes, please. So, I think we want to make this have 6 power. Yeah. And then we put another counter here. Yeah. Attack with both. They're going to trade, probably with Boulder Branch, since it's permanently a 6/6. Where they're going to take 12. Okay. Didn't think that was going to happen. They can sack this to make this a 3/2. Now they also have a Strong Bull. Is this Strong Bull going to beat us? I don't know. Drawing a forest there didn't help a lot, though. So we're going to swing with Boulder Branch again. We can play... oh, gross. At least they didn't use it aggressively. That being used aggressively is way worse, but we're still in a really bad shape. Actually, witch hunts generally didn't happen during the Middle Ages. They are an early modern thing that occurs in the aftermath of the Protestant Reformation, while both groups, Catholics and Protestants, are obsessed with codifying what is correct and what is incorrect about each faith. And so people who are like natural healers get caught up in it and stuff like that. So it's more of a, point is, early modern thing and not a medieval thing. Same thing really with werewolves and vampires. Those start to show up a lot more later. Meanwhile, in this game of Magic, I think we're about to lose. Great Desert Prospector shenanigans weren't enough here. Under the influence of ergot. That is a medieval thing. Ergotism, yeah. During the Great Famine, people ate a bunch of things they shouldn't have eaten, including grain infected with a fungus that drove them insane. Good stuff. Yeah, we're dead. I can, like, do this, but it's not really going to make a difference. We did. Having to use Disenchant on their Visions of Phyrexia hurt us. Now just sack 3 artifacts and kill us. Or don't. That's literally all they have to do. Will they do it in response to Haywire Might? They don't. They could have killed us there, too. Man. Will they do it now? They don't know what I have in my hand, I guess. Here they go. Here they go. No? I guess they're waiting now for... they can just sack it all in response, though. There's nothing to wait for here. Thank you for the follows. I am Rosie, Mr. Greaves, and Brute Pose. And... I mean, I may as well concede, but since they've made some mistakes so far, see if we can extend things here or something. I don't think we can, though. Yeah. I mean, I can gain 2 life, but it doesn't make a difference, so... Well, 4 and 3, I think that's a fine record for this deck. It had, you know, a couple things we didn't have that this deck really needs to be great. The 4 mana 3/1 that makes a 1/1 Scrapwork Cohort or whatever it is. And then we also didn't have the Gaia trick that protects things. So those 2 things I think would have made the deck great because all that removal would have gotten blanked more often, but that we got used against us, I mean.